It's amazing what just one dress can do. How something so simple, made with love, can bring joy, dignity, and comfort to a child who needs it most. In my last video, I shared the inspiration behind Project Dress a Girl and walked you through 3 simple ways to use your serger with purpose while making dresses to donate. But if you didn't catch that one, no worries. This video will still make perfect sense. I'll be showing you exactly how I made this dress start to finish using primarily my serger. Now there is a small amount of straight stitching involved, and for that you can use either a regular sewing machine or a cover stitch machine that has a chain stitch on it, or what I'll be using is my other serger for those steps. It's a Bernina L890, a combo serger that has the chain stitch so that I can personally say that this dress is 100% made with a serger. Just use whatever you're most comfortable with. Hey Serger Bees, I'm Sookie, your serger coach, here to help you build confidence with your serger one stitch at a time. You'll find the pattern, the tools, the thread details, and everything that you need to join Project Dress a Girl linked below so you can stitch along and make dresses to donate to. So grab your serger and let's get stitching. Because we're adapting a sewing pattern to be used on a serger, I'm going to need you to trust me a little bit. So we are changing up the steps slightly. We're going to start by constructing the yoke with the flat lock stitch, and then we're going to be doing the side seams with a 4-thread overlock stitch and the pocket construction as well. And then we'll be adding a beautiful rolled hem to attach the shoulder strap and the ties to the front of the dress and along the bottom of the hem. And then lastly, we're going to be attaching the label and the pocket to our dress with a straight stitch. And in my case, I'll be using the chain stitch. So let's start by putting our pattern together and doing some cutting. Since the pattern that I used for this project is one of the PDF that have multiple pages that need to be cut and taped together, I thought I'd show you the way that I did it using my Sew Tights cutting system. Instead of cutting with a pair of scissors around each page and then taping them together, I decided to do everything right on the table. You'll see that I cut only one side of the pattern piece, and then I used the Sew Tights boosters, that's the turquoise things, and put one on the corner and then kind of used the other to rotate and leverage and then taped the piece down. This was so much more efficient and faster, and because I have osteoarthritis on both of my hands, it was very easy on my wrist while I was doing the taping of the pattern pieces. I definitely will use this in the future. Once my pattern was all put together, the pattern piece does call for place on the fold for both the front and the back, which I did. Again, since I'm using the Sew Tights cutting system, I just kept everything on the table and cut out my front and my back. This pattern does call for some shoulder ties, so I just followed the exact same pattern as far as cutting 2 shoulder ties. You just need to kind of follow the instructions by extending the pattern piece out. It does need to be quite long, and you're going to need 2 of them cut on the bias, so just follow the instructions for the cutting. And then as far as the little front yoke, I did exactly as the pattern called for, but I was very aware of the placement since I am wanting to have those little bumblebees show. And then since I want the front and the back the same, I just placed the front directly over the back piece and made sure that it is identical. This pattern does not include a pocket. However, all the Project Dress a Girl patterns do require you to have at least one pocket for the little girls. So I just made it really simple. I just cut a 4x5 piece of material and then just made an exact duplicate of that so I can line it. And now I've got all of my pieces of material. And when it comes to threads, you're going to need 4 basic spools of thread and your choice of decorative threads. I'll have a few linked below and I'll definitely mention them throughout the project. And of course, your Project Dress a Girl label. To begin with the construction, we're going to be attaching our yokes to our front and back. We're going to be using a 2-thread flat lock wide featuring the squiggly side of the stitch.
We're going to be attaching this using a standard thread in the needle and the fluffy bee thread, which is the Wonderfill soft lock thread, in the lower looper thread position. My left needle tension was 2, my lower looper was 3.5, my stitch length was 2.5, my differential feed was 1, and my width was 5. Fold your yolks wrong sides together and give them a press. Since we want the squiggly side or the looper side to be shown when we're finished, we're going to be placing our materials what would be wrong sides together. So it's kind of important to keep that in mind as we're placing them together. I'm just using Wonder Clips to do that. This pattern calls for a 1/2 inch seam allowance, and when it comes to sergers and seam allowance, it's actually quite simple. Just keep an eye on where the needle is and where the blade is positioned. If you need a little help with seam allowances, I have an entire video that covers seam allowances. I will include a link to that video, but I'd also like to invite you to download my Hello Serger mini handbook. It's a really great handbook that has all kinds of deep dive information on serger things like seam allowance. You're going to stitch the yoke to the top of the front and the back, cutting off just a little bit, following your seam allowance, and then you're going to very gently pull the seam open. I also have a video on how to do a flat lock stitch, so be sure to watch that video so that you can learn the proper ways to do it. And then give your seams a good press. Place your front and your back right sides together and align the side seams along the raw edge and secure them with Wonder Clips. And now it's time to set our serger up for a 4-thread overlock, my absolute favorite go-to stitch. I also have a video on the difference between 3-thread and 4-thread overlock if you're curious when to use which one, so I'll include that in the description as well. Keeping in mind your 1/2 inch seam allowance, go ahead and stitch down both of the side seams on your dress. When you're finished stitching, you're going to go ahead and press both side seams, press them flat, and then press them towards one direction. It's entirely up to you. In this case, today I am pressing my side seams towards the back. When it comes to the construction on the pocket, I'm keeping it really simple, and there are 2 different serger techniques that I'm covering. One is called the stitch and fold method, and the other is the open window technique. Both of these have videos, and I'll include links to both of those videos in the description below. And when it comes to turning the pocket right side out, if you have not yet seen the Easy Point and Turner, it's amazing. It's this handy little notion that I invented. It helps turn things right side out. Super easy. Give your pocket a good press, and then you can just set it aside for right now. And now it's time for the rolled hem. For the thread, I use standard thread in the right needle and the lower looper, and in the upper looper, I use that fluffy bee thread, which is the Wonderfill soft lock. My settings were the right needle tension was 3.5, upper looper 4, lower looper is 7.5, stitch length 1.5, differential feed 1, and my width was set to 5. Now every fabric and serger behaves differently, so don't be afraid to play around with your settings. To hem the dress, we're going to begin by removing our threads off the stitch finger. I'm going to be following along a technique that I call the roundabout, which essentially what we're doing is we're beginning our stitches in the material and we're cutting off very little, basically little to none of the material. And we're stitching around the entire bottom hem of the dress. And when we get to the very end, we're going to trim off that last little bit, just like we're going around. I have an entire video that's dedicated to this technique, and I'll include the link in the description so that you can watch it from start to finish. Press your shoulder straps wrong sides together lengthwise on the fold, aligning the long raw edges. To help give our ties nice points at the end, we're going to mark a slight 45-degree angle directly onto each of the ends, and do this for both of the ties. Find the center of your shoulder strap and put a clip. Place the center directly over the side seam but on the wrong side of the dress. Now start to smooth out the shoulder strap, aligning the raw edges with the underarm of the dress all the way up into the yoke, securing with wonder clips along the way. Make sure that you can see the markings that you did earlier because that's where we're going to begin and end. When you're all finished, you want to make sure that you have your shoulder strap on the wrong side of the dress along with those markings. And just repeat this on both of the sides of your shoulder strap. We'll have a right and a left. And then you can make your way over to the machine. Begin stitching with that 45-degree slight angled, aligning the marking underneath the presser foot with the needle. Grab hold of your thread tails to get your thread started and your stitching started. Keep in mind your 1/2-inch seam allowance, so once you get the material started, you can begin to cut a little bit off. Just keep everything nice and straight and consistent. The most important takeaway from this section is that you are stitching with the shoulder straps, the ties facing up, and the dress would be the wrong side facing to the straps, just as shown in the video here. And you would do this on both the left and the right side. And you want to make sure that you can see your start and stop point that you marked earlier. The end point will definitely be helpful as you get toward the end. It will help guide you right around here. You can use the tweezers or just grab hold of the material and continue stitching to trim it right off. And then just clip your thread tails. And we'll finish it off real nice with fray check later. And then check it out. We have attached the shoulder strap and the ties to the dress all in one. And now it's time to give your dress a little press along the yoke and the shoulder straps. And I did use a tailor's ham for this. I did find that it helped a little. And there we go, Serger bees. We are almost finished. If you're using a sewing machine, set it up for a straight stitch. Otherwise, I'm going to be using the chain stitch, standard serger thread in both the needle and the chain looper. And I did set my stitch length to 2.5, and I am using the center chain position. I decided to attach the label directly to the pocket, and then I'll attach the pocket to the dress afterwards. And I am using this Wonder Tape. It's a double-sided adhesive tape. It's fantastic. If you've never used this before, it definitely makes the process of holding a small item like a little label such as this in place much easier. And now we're going to just stitch this on with the chain stitch. If your serger has a chain stitch, definitely use it. It's a wonderful feature on a machine. Treat it like a sewing machine in the sense that you can raise your presser foot and rotate, sink your needle, things like that. But when you are finished stitching, you're going to raise your presser foot, raise your needle, and grab your materials and go straight back. And then you will clip your threads. That's what locks the stitch. And then as far as the placement of the pocket, I totally made this up. I just used the same Wonder Tape application just to hold my pocket in place. I peeled back the paper of the Wonder Tape and I went down 2 full lengths and then over 2 full widths. And that's where I decided to place my pocket. Again, just remember that you are not going to stitch through the whole dress. You want to lift it up so that you are only stitching through the top layer of the dress. I started at the top one side, went all the way down one side, about 1/4 inch or so at the bottom, sunk my needle, rotated, lowered my presser foot, stitched along the other side, sunk my needle, rotated the material, and then went along the final side of my pocket. There is no back stitch with a chain stitch, but the good news is, like I said earlier, that once you do the final raise your needle, raise your presser foot, as soon as you pull your materials toward the back, it will lock your stitches. So the chances of the threads coming out are very unlikely. So once you clip your thread tails, you should be good to go. There are several ways to finish off thread tails for a serger. In fact, I have an entire video dedicated to just that topic, but for this project, I'm just using a little fray check at the end of each of those thread tails, letting them dry for the manufacturer's suggested time, and then clipping them off.
Now, if you're still in the stitching zone and you want to use up some of those leftover dress scraps, I've got just the thing. My Serger tissue case tutorial. It's quick, practical, and you can find that video right here. And until I see you next time, I hope you have a creative day. Bye-bye.